are listening to the Starter Girls podcast with Jennifer Loading. Whether you are starting a project, starting a business, starting a brand, or starting a movement, we are here to talk about it. And I am super excited to welcome Katie Manning to the show today. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
All right, so I'm going to tell our listeners a little bit about you. But before I get into your bio, I want to say something because this is actually my cousin on my dad's side. This is super fun today because I get to get a family member on here. I have not had any family on the podcast yet. So this is going to be fun, Katie.
Nice. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, super excited. So I'm going to tell our listeners real quick a little bit about you, and then we're going to get in and start jumping into this and talking about what you've got going on over there in the Houston area. So Katie Manning is a certified personal trainer and online fitness coach in the Cypress area. So if you're in the Dallas area, that is the suburbs of Houston. She's also happens to be, like I said, my cousin on my dad's side. Her journey into the health industry began shortly after she graduated from high school. She obtained her medical assistant certification, which qualified her to work in the medical field. Upon completion of her schooling, she took an OBGYN clinic externship and completed over 160 hours of phlebotomy, along with hundreds of hours in clinical training. So she's been trained really well. She then moved into pediatric and family medicine and promoted to clinical manager. It was at this time her desire to help others began to flourish. She went on to become a certified personal trainer while managing the clinic. Katie says she wanted to reach people before the deterioration of their health. In the early days of her practice, she traveled to her clients as a mobile trainer. Katie has since opened her studio gym in her home, which I have seen the pictures and it's amazing. And she trains her clients one-on-one. She also just recently wrote her first ebook in which Katie describes as an easy-to-use progressive 4-week fitness program suitable for all athletic levels. It also includes a free macro calculation for each participant. So exciting. Welcome, Katie.
Hi, thank you. Thank you.
So awesome. So you've done quite a bit of stuff here, but I love it because it's kind of all in the same industry. It's sort of, I always talk about how things, our directions where we go are not always linear. They kind of go in different directions. Mm-hmm. But what I love here is that, everything you did just sort of kind of compounded into what you're doing now. So it wasn't like you were on this whole other side. You were going somewhere. You just had to go through these navigational routes to get there. So tell us a little bit about your practice in your gym. Like I said, I've seen the pictures, amazing, like what you've got going on over there. And tell us about these clients, like where you find them and all this good stuff.
Sure. So I've been training for about 7 years now. And like I said, I started, as a mobile trainer. So people would hire me to come to their homes to train them there. But that wasn't very timely. So I was trying to figure out a way to bring the clients to me and also be able to stay with my 2-year-old daughter. So I have a 2-year-old daughter at home. I didn't want to hop into anything that would keep me away from her. So I decided to start my facility at my home. And thanks to my supportive husband, who's also a hard worker, he actually put together a beautiful studio for me to train my clients one-on-one. So in the Cypress area, it's super convenient for a lot of the moms around here. And I'm starting to get a little more well-known around here. So if somebody is looking for a trainer, there are so many people that I guess just have already recommended me to them. So everybody around, all of my individual clients are from around Cypress. Now with my ebook, it's taken a little larger effect. So I have clients from everywhere purchasing my ebook and entering my challenges. So
that's awesome. And do you want to talk about this ebook a little bit? Tell us about it.
Sure. So my ebook is called the Trim and Tone 4-Week Transformation Guide. So basically, like I had said, it's a progressive program. So it starts with very basic exercises that anybody can, learn to do. And then over the next 4 weeks, it progresses steadily. So by the end of it, you're doing some pretty hardcore exercises that you probably didn't think you were capable of. And with the purchase, it also comes with a free macro calculation, which is super unique, just for you individually. So a lot of women have a strong desire to eliminate carbs, and that is fine. Like so many women thrive off of eliminating carbs, but there is some women that have been eliminating carbs for the majority of their life and they've seen no progress. So those are the women that I try to hop in and help. And based off of their experiences with their diet and their exercise. That's how I kind of customize. There's like so many different calculations I use just to customize exactly what your body needs to hit your goals.
That's so awesome. And I'm a low carber. So, and most people,
You are.
know, yes, I'm a low carber, but I also, because I had a nerve condition. So I did keto for 22 months because I was trying to reverse a nerve condition. I've just sort of kind of adopted that. But yes, everybody's body's a little bit different. And, I always talk about with people that, even when I'm talking keto to people, it's not meant for necessarily every person. There are definitely benefits to lowering the sugar in the body. Obviously, we know for health reasons, right? But some people, everybody's body's a little bit different. And, even for myself, I found that keeping myself, pretty low carb works for me most of the time, but I do still need a little bit every once in a while. And I'll tell you a funny story, and we'll get back on this. Yesterday, I was doing a show. You're going to laugh about this because talk about law of attraction, right? I was I was on a health show yesterday, and I was talking to the host about how I believe all things in moderation. So if you want to eat the cake, eat the cake. Just don't eat it every day, right? Like, don't make it a habit. Well, interestingly enough, I went to do another show last night, and we went to a place called Loki Pokey here in the Addison area. And we were interviewing the restaurant owner. And of course, he paid for our meal. Then he brings these Jello, it's like a Jello shot champagne sake thing full of sugar, right? And then they bring me, guess what? Cake. So, so I didn't even finish the cake. I didn't finish the drink. But by the time I had like half of it, I was so crazy from all this sugar. I woke up this morning, guess what? With a headache. Woke up with a headache from the sugar. So I should not have talked about the cake yesterday because I was like, this is why you don't eat this every single day. So, but I think that's awesome what you're doing. And I do think, the macro calculation is huge. I think that does help people a lot. I did it when I did keto. Go ahead.
It's not just for, not everyone does, low carb or high carb. So everyone is completely different. So I have so many people on a low carb calculation. Then I have others that have a higher carb calculation, like very high carb calculation. So like I said, it's tailored specifically. There's no one direction over here.
I love that. No, I love that. That means that you're able to help, more than one person, right? You're not limited to, because if all you were doing is low carb, then that would be the only thing you would be working on that plan. And those would be the only people that you would be able to fit. This gives you the ability to help more individuals. And I think that's just a neat thing. It just gives you a little more diversity.
Yes, for sure.
I love it. And your studio does look amazing. I follow I see your photos and some of the transformations that you put out there with your people. So it's awesome. Good stuff.
So I'm big on showing off transformation. Now, majority of my clients don't sign the waiver to release those photos. So I always tell them, hey, if you sign this waiver, like you are getting blasted on social media. So do not sign the waiver if you don't want your photos shown. So those have been the troopers that have let me share their photos, but there has been so much progress beyond those women.
That's awesome. No, and it's good. And I can totally, understand, those that wouldn't want to have them on there, but it is neat for the people that are looking at that because it gives you that social proof, that, hey, this is what's going on in my business. I am having success. My clients are having success, and it's good for them too. The before and afters are huge. I mean, I talk about that all the time. Before and after is huge. They need to see that transformation. And a lot of times when people are having that transformation, they don't see it unless they have that proof, they won't know.
The biggest thing, take before and after pictures, and then even if I'm not sharing them on social media, but showing them like, hey, this is how far you've come. Like, look what you've done. Like, way to go. So those have been really key, showing my clients their success.
That's awesome, Katie. That's awesome. So I want to kind of talk about something a little bit different with what you're doing, only because you having moved in through this career, you were a young mom. You had kids that you were dealing with. So I want to talk about like work-life balance, because I think this is huge for moms because, when I tell people when I started my entrepreneur, my business, I was 27. And at that time, my oldest was 2 years old. So I was juggling a toddler. I joke about this all the time, how I used to have to lock myself in the room to make phone calls to clients because she'd be banging on the door and I could hear the door handle knob turning and I'd be like, no, mom's working. So I have juggled business with children all along, and I know that it can be done, but it's a challenge. So talk to us a little bit about that, because you've had to do that and you're still doing that right now. So tell us a little bit about how you've managed to keep that balance and sanity.
Sure. So, it's actually very, very much a struggle for me, just as it is for any mom. But luckily, my passion and my career, they're kind of combined into one. So not only do I have to make time for me to get my fitness, my personal fitness in, but I also have to make time to train my clients and spend time with my kids, which has been phenomenal. Phenomenal having my home gym. Like, it has just been wonderful. I do also have my nanny that comes 4 days a week. So I only train Monday through Thursday in person. And then I have my nanny that comes, during those days that I'm training. But working on the 4-week program was a bit of a task, because I did find myself locking myself in a room as well and having to have my husband deal with all the kids, getting through that. But luckily I do have a supportive husband, and my kids' age difference is very helpful because I have my 11-year-old and then I have my 2-year-old. So she's so much help as well. But for my clients, they often struggle getting their fitness in because they're all stay-at-home moms. Most of them are stay-at-home moms. They're really wanting to better themselves, feel more confident, but they have children at home and they're intimidated by the big gyms. So for them, it's super wonderful because my in-home nanny actually takes on the responsibility of their children as well. So not only are you private studio and getting one-on-one training, but you are more than welcome to bring your children. And my nanny just cares for them just like a regular child care, at a facility, but it's more one-on-one with my nanny as well. So it's not like they're getting mixed in a group of 20 kids. So it's a super personal experience you have when you come here. And I juggle work and my kids only with the help of my husband and my wonderful mother and my nanny.
That is so awesome, Katie. I like that. That's awesome. No, and I think that, definitely having the nanny, I think that's helpful. And it's good that you've got everything in there. I mean, it's so funny. You and I have a lot of parallels here, because I taught aerobics, very early on in the beginning when I started when Kara was 18 months. That's my oldest. And I taught all the way up through when Sean was born. So Paige was born, I was teaching. I joke about this all the time because I taught up until the last week that I was giving birth to both of the last two. I'd go to classes and teach. I just did it. And people are like, don't have the baby on the floor. We're good. We're good. I've been exercising all along. Why change the routine, right? But no, I think it's great that you have that flexibility to be able to do what you want to do. And you hit on something early on about the passion, because in the work, because I talk about this all the time in my shows. When you enjoy what you do, you don't really work a day in your life, because it becomes part of who you are as an individual. And you don't really think of it as work any longer. You know what I mean? It's like you've taken your hobby and made that your career.
100%. And it's not even just about growing muscles and perfecting or trying to perfect your body or whatever progress and gains you're looking for. But the thing that I just love most is the women. So I am a trainer I have women and I also have some male clients as well. So I love my male clients as well. But literally the reason that I love doing this is because I love helping other women. When women come to me, they're usually at a point in their life where they're coming to somebody else for help. They want help with their health, with their fitness, with their, how they feel about themselves, their self-confidence. And they walk in, they ask me for help, and really they're doing all the work. They're, within, 3 or 4 months, they're leaving my facility with their head held high. They're confident. I mean, I love to empower women. I'm all for, female empowerment, and just watching them leave with their heads held high, feeling good about themselves. That's really what my passion is. It's not that my passion is, lifting a lot of weights, which I do enjoy doing as well. But it's really it's the women. I just want every woman to feel, confident and happy and proud. So that's awesome. That's really what
you're on the right podcast then. That's what this is all about. Women empowerment. You are on the right place. I love it. We do this kind of the same thing, but different things. I coach the mindset. You do the body part of it all. But you're doing mindset in there, which I think is amazing. And you will probably agree with me that everything is really about the mindset, because you can really do anything you want to do if your head is in the right space. When your head is in that. Yeah, exactly. You got to be in that space of, I've got this and I can do this. And I love that that's what you're doing. And you're building those relationships and those connections. And I'm sure that your clients really love you. I think this is so awesome. So, okay. So I'm going to ask you some fun questions now. I'm getting my notes out here. I want to ask you some fun questions. So who would you say has been your biggest influencer?
Well, I can say that since the day that I met my husband 6 years ago, he has influenced every single part of my life. I mean, I met him in the gym 6 years ago, oddly enough. And just when I first met him, our personalities clicked. He had the same passions I did. He is so supportive. And I mean, just watching him every single day, like be the best father he can be the best husband, be the best business owner that he can be. I mean, that is really what influences me. I don't really look up to like any famous athlete like that. It's really just my husband, and then my number one supporter my whole life, which would be my mom. So
I knew you were going to say that. Your mom is so awesome. I think this is so awesome.
I know, I love it.
She is always cheering you on. I look at y'all's stuff all the time. I think that is so incredible. I think that is just so incredible. So, hey, it doesn't matter who your influencer is. It's your influencer, right? I think that's awesome. So,
my mom and my husband basic over here.
Do what?
I thought my mom and my husband as my influencers. I'm pretty basic over here.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so besides doing all your training, which I know that you love all of that, what else do you like to do for fun?
Man, you are just bringing up some good memories now, because what me and my husband actually do for fun, of what we enjoy doing, is traveling. And since we've been in this quarantine, like, that's literally what we live for. Like, we love traveling. That is our thing. And we had to cancel four vacations. We like to do anything adventurous. So we travel. We like to leave out of the country, mostly to the Caribbean. And I like to experience like local foods and things like that. My husband is a little more protective. So every time we leave the country, he's like, stay on the resort. But in the last 6 years, I've got him to come out of his shell a little bit. And he's starting to really enjoy the local culture whenever we travel as well. So I'm getting him out of the United States a little bit more and into experiencing other cultures. And that's definitely what my favorite thing to do is.
Well, hopefully, sooner than later, hopefully we'll get back to some normalcy at some point where we can pick up all that stuff. So, yes, and I know I've seen a lot of your pictures, from traveling and stuff. So, and I know that's like a lot of people, that when I ask this question, that it is for a lot of people, and it's such a crazy time right now. Nobody's able to really just freely go about their business, and do the things that they want to do. So, we're having to all learn to navigate.
I know, we just had to cancel our Disney vacation with the kids, and like they were devastated. So, I mean, it's all good. We can do it next year. Keep it positive over here. But I definitely miss travel.
That's right. That's right. All right. So my rapid fires for today. These are fun. Are you a dog or a cat person?
Well, unfortunately, Jennifer, I am neither. I the best for all animals, and I want every one of them to be taken care of, and I will cry if I see an animal like injured. But no, I don't like to own them. I don't like to take care of them, because just I've had a kid since I was young. So I'm like,
no more. Yeah, that's so funny. Okay, so are you a morning or a night person?
Definitely morning. I will be passed out by 10 o'clock at night.
I'm a morning person too. This is good. I know who to call I know who to call early. It's so funny every time I ask this. I love these rapid fire questions. We were just talking about this before the show, because I find out a lot of things about people. It's like stuff that I would not have even known. But it would make sense though, because you're ready to roll. I mean, you're doing exercise and stuff. You're ready to roll in the morning. So what time do you take your first client?
I will take my first client as early as 5 a.m., but I stay away from. That's the last spot that I fill, because I like to have, my husband usually brings me coffee like in bed and stuff. So if I start too early, then I need to get up and get my own coffee. So I like to keep it at least 6 and after, but I'll take on a 5 a.m. if somebody really, really needs it.
Katie, that was the best ever. That was the best ever. But I will say I might have, I will say I have you topped, but I can understand that, because I tell people I'm up at 5 every day, but I don't like to do anything before 11 a.m. because seriously, like, I'm talking meet with clients. Like, I don't like to take phone calls. I don't like to meet with anybody before that, because I like to have all that time for myself in the morning. Like, I like to make my breakfast. I want to read. I want to work out. I want to like do my thing before I have to clean up, and then I can do my day, Yeah. But yours is the best.
Yeah. I try not to be selfish, but I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that part of my day. That's like the best part, when he walks in with my iced coffee and he puts the foam on top and like really does it up, girl.
This is so awesome. I have not had anybody say that. This is the best part. I might have to just clip this part as a teaser. Just that part. You know what I mean? That'll be like an intro teaser or something. This is good. All right. And what would you say is your favorite food?
Well, my favorite healthy food, or my favorite cheat day?
Whatever you want to be your favorite food. I wouldn't give you a healthy one for me.
Go with tacos. I've been craving tacos every cheat meal. I'm at these little taco trucks, not even just a restaurant. I'm at these taco trucks around Cyprus. So definitely tacos.
I like Mexican food too. I could eat every week. I could just have Mexican food, chips and salsa. That's my vice, chips and salsa.
Yeah, you go to California though. They don't have any queso. You order queso and they bring you slices of cheese, and you're like, no, queso to dip it. They're like, we don't do that.
We're like, okay, bring us the bowl. We want the bowl. You know what this is making me think of? I don't even know if you know the story, but I remember, I don't even know how old I was when we went traveling. My parents and Sharon and I went traveling. Sharon's my sister for the audience. And we went to Colorado. I think we were going to Pikes Peak or something. And we stopped at a Mexican restaurant in there. And they bring us these little teeny bowls, of salsa. And my mom is like, can you just leave the pitcher on the table? Just leave the pitcher there. Because they kept having to come back and fill the bowls up, I'm like, we want the whole thing. Bring us multiple batches of chips and a big bowl of salsa, please. And queso.
Ton of free salsa.
Right? A ton of free salsa, yes. That's why some places they might start charging you. You go in there and you might be bringing us a lot of bags of chips,
Yes.
So
I feel guilty. Sometimes I feel guilty when I keep asking for more. So I tell my kids, stop eating it. We're not paying for it.
Right. Well, that's why you just eat your tacos and you're good, right? Just eat your tacos. You'll be all good. So, all right. So my last really fun question I want to ask you for today. So if you could be any character or superhero for a day, what would you pick?
Well, my daughter always says that I'm like Supergirl to her. And then my husband is really obsessed with buying me a bunch of Wonder Woman, clothing, these little shorts that are like Wonder Woman. So one or the other, or maybe a combination, be like a Wonder Girl for both of them. So
I see you as Supergirl, kind of with the hair. I don't know why I'm thinking Supergirl.
That's what my daughter
too.
Supergirl mom. So that always makes me happy.
Yeah, that means you can kick butt. You do it all.
That's right.
Right? You got your business, be a mom, you're doing it all, rocking. I love it. Love it. So, okay. So Katie, if our listeners wanted to find out a little bit more about your ebook and a little bit more about your fitness program, what you're doing, where do they go to find you?
Sure. So you can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Katie Manning Fit. And you can also, if you're interested in purchasing my ebook, you can go to payhip.katiemanningfit.com. And then my ebook is right there. And for now, I've extended the discount. So if you use the code TRIM2020, then you'll get a discount off of the book as well.
Okay, awesome. And when this goes out, we'll be sure we get all your contact information in there. We'll put a little plug in for you. So, but nice. I'm excited about what you're doing. You've got a lot of really neat things going on. You've done some amazing things, and it's been fun to kind of watch you over the years, sort of kind of morph into all of this. And I mean, you got a rocking body even over there for a mom. I see your pictures and I'm like, look at that. Look at them arms. She got a rocking body going on over there. So, and that's so awesome. And, yeah. And you know what else? You know what else I think is really cool is you're setting a really good example for your kiddos. So I think that's a really neat thing. You're setting and paving the way for healthy habits, good lifestyle, all of that amazing stuff. So super proud of you.
And that's thank you. That's the number one thing that that I really love seeing is my kids looking up to me and knowing that I just have the 3 little girls watching me, and I want them to know that all of us women are strong. We are all beautiful. We are put here for a reason. We are fierce. And I just want them to know, and all of my clients, and actually everybody, all women in the world, to know that you are here for a reason. You are meant to be strong. You're a fierce female. And that's really just the message that I want to get out there. That's what I want women to feel whenever they are working with me. When they leave, I want them to feel strong and confident and know that they are fierce women. So
I love that. I love that. Well, I want to say thank you so much for jumping on here today. This is fun. We didn't, I think the last time we connected was in October, and that wasn't the best of circumstances when we got to connect. So this has been fun because I have not really ever, been able to sit down with you and just be like, hey, tell me about what you're doing and all of that good stuff. So I'm glad that we got you on here and you got to talk a little bit about what you've got going on. And like I said, we'll put a plug in for you when we get this out with all your contact information. And so thank you so much for being on here. And with that, I do want to say to our listeners, if you do enjoy our show, please give us a like on Facebook and iTunes because we can't do this without you, and hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. And with that, I'm going to wrap up with our mantra. It's a great day to be brave. You might as well start now. You have the power to change your circumstances any day you decide. Let today be that day. Rise up, be amazing, be you, do you. All right, you guys take care, be safe, and be kind to one another. We'll see you next time.